another one. We're still in, I've forgotten, Krakow. We're still in Krakow. We just had our breakfast, just making our way out of the hotel. And again, I've got no hat on at the moment because I'm just trying to let a bit of steam out my head. I've got my big thick coat on and it's the only one I brought with me. Hopefully we'll find a few photographs. Eventually we're going to head to Schindler's factory, which is over the other side of the river. And there's a square with a load of big chairs in it. All to do with history. Sure it can be looked up. But yeah, it's pretty much what we're going to do. Just wander around and see what takes our fancy. Just watch the road because cars come every direction. And yeah, just when the evening comes in, a little bit of softer light and get the blue hour, and the lights come on all around, so it's quite nice. So yeah, that's the plan. So we'll see you a little bit later on. I'm assuming this place, bearing in mind it's on the edge of the road and it looks like down there's part of the wall. I'm assuming this place was like a gatehouse to this main entrance. So there, trying to work it out. I'm better off suited in the hills and the countryside really, not around this cultural areas. I'm useless at general knowledge. Good lady wife's taking a picture of the frame there. The man in the frame, apparently she says he's some significant person. A poet or a writer, she says. So, I don't know. I'd be a good guide, me, wouldn't I? A really good guide. It's a very different morning, I think. We've just put my hat on and look, Lady C's putting her nice new hat on with a 2-ball head. bought her a new hat yesterday. She's been looking for one for a long time, so it was her turn for a treat. It's a different temperature today. It's still not cold, but there's a bit more wind, so it's making it feel chillier.
Yeah, I think you've got the hat lopsided.
And her hat's a little bit lopsided, she says. Right, we're back in the square again, as you can see. Big open areas around us, so we're going to have a walk through the indoor market and just see if anything takes our fancy.
Try this one to figure it out. Which size do you have? It's too big. It's too big. Okay.
We've both got ourselves a little present.
I'm going to put mine on so
Mrs. C's got herself a little amber ring. Walk down through the square now. We're coming out the bottom and we're right next to Wawel Castle. But yeah, this is the castle. Big castle walls. It's on Wawel Hill. But it's quite an ornate city. There's some nice looking buildings. Very different from being at home. So yeah, it's nice having a walk round. And we've decided we're going to walk up the hill a little bit and get a bit closer to the castle today. So we'll have a look at that before we head over to Schindler's factory.
Over there. No guns, no knives. Empty your pockets. No suitcases. Can't ride your bike. No dogs. Least important, no dogs.
cold and chilly. She's starting to wrap up warm, and I'm starting to think, ooh, I might have to put my hood up and zip myself up a bit more. Find me gloves that are in my bag on my back. But it's definitely, that wind chill's really quite cold. Anyway, what we've been doing, taking photos. I'm trying to get a few pictures of the trams, because out of anything else, my memories of this place will probably be the trams. We found a cracking bridge. Sorry if the camera's waving around a bit, the wind's blowing mental. Yeah, we found a cracking bridge, yeah. Before we got to it, we got to a mad crossroads, and I've done a little bit of a time lapse, and it looks quite cool. Trams and that go in all sorts of directions, which is pretty good, so I'll show you that in a sec. And yeah, this bridge is pretty nice, and I just like the idea of getting a couple of shots of the trams going through the middle of the ironwork. So something a little bit different that Joe Bloggs probably wouldn't take. I think that's the way it works really, or the way I work, or the way we try and work, is try and get something that's not quite as obvious as the normal photograph, even though it's very, very difficult in a place like this. But I think we've got a couple. But yeah, I like a couple. I'm sure I've got a couple of the trams I like, and like I say, that's going to be one of my biggest memories of the trams. So yeah, that job done. We're now going to cross the road and run the gauntlet again, because as we've mentioned several times, these crossings don't actually mean anything. So yeah, let's get across this road and talk to you again. God, don't we find ourselves in some charmingly exciting places? It's what we do.
Takes me to all the good spots.
Yeah, we don't need to visit all the nice places. We like to look at all the real places, but only quickly. But we're in this courtyard now, in the square where they've got all these big chairs, and like I say, there is a significance to them. But you know me and my memory, I'm absolutely useless at it. Looks like Denise is going to find a notice board and let you know. You can see the chairs there, all the chairs in the middle there. So, there's something here. we've just been into the museum, which is free on a Monday, which is right behind us. It's only a little tiny place, but apparently it's a pharmacy.
Yeah, do you want me to?
We've got all these posters that are around here. This guy, his name's at the top there. This was actually the site, obviously during the war, the Nazis would round up all the Jews, take away all the possessions, take away the houses, and they were brought here. This is the site, the square behind where all the chairs are, is where they were brought to and separated into Group A and Group B, those that worked and those that didn't. And from then they decided whether or not they were going to end up in working camp, you know, concentration camps, or a lot of the women and children that were brought here were shipped off to Birkenau, where obviously, you know, that's where they ended their lives. But the pharmacy at the end that we've just been in is the chap in there witnessed daily just groups, you know, thousands of Jewish people being brought here for sorting, and the chairs behind are a
symbol.
Yeah, they're like a symbol of all the possessions that the Jewish people had to leave behind.
So there, another sad place. We're now aimlessly trying to get ourselves lost. We're looking for Schindler's factory, and we just had a cup of tea, and I don't recognise this bit on my map just now.
You said go back to the river?
Yeah, well that's the train track there, so I know we've got to go under the train track and then turn right and then follow the road round to the left. We should get to the factory. So, I can see the train track, so we're sort of going in the right direction. We're certainly not in the most tourist of areas, are we? Look at me surroundings. We're following a sign anyway. The sign says this way, or we think it sort of says this way. So we've got to be heading in the right direction, but yeah, we're slightly off the tourist route probably. But we're doing it Compton style, as usual. We found it. We're here. We took the long road, but we got here. Just noticed a bridge that goes under the tracks, which we should have took instead. So let's go in and see. Well, that's a big poo. We walked all the way down here, all the way across the river, right through the town and the city and all around the back streets, and we got here, and on a Monday it's open hours 10 till 2, and the time is about 1 o'clock, is it?
No,
it's about 1 o'clock the time is, but the last admission is 12:30. So,
but all the tickets were sold out anyway.
Basically, get out. We're going to walk, exercise. Got a lot of these city tour buses, which are quite good. It takes you all the way around, which is quite good.
It's the history of the place, isn't it? Oscar Schindler.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the film Schindler's List, you'll understand the significance of the place. So he helped.
Yeah. So he's a dude that helped hundreds and hundreds of people, Jewish people, and there's a slogan in there: "He who helps save one life saves an entire world." So yeah, it's quite significant, really, especially after yesterday's little trip, which will be on the end of this video anyway. We went to Auschwitz and had a look on a walk around there, and Birkenau. So yeah, we're going to head now back to the town, probably the Jewish quarter, and go and find some Polish cuisine.
Okay.
This, another dark little alley I'm taking her down. Then I treat Mrs. C to the best, eh? Yeah. Do you know what? I think thinking ahead, and this is really thinking ahead. This is quite a throwing a wild card out there. That's Krakow.
That's the Krakow.
That'd be the train station. So we don't want a train station.
Careful, boys.
He's on his phone, yeah. They all seem to drive with a phone and everything in their ear. Oh, it's starting to rain, that's nice. Yeah, thinking ahead, on a positive thinking ahead, I wouldn't mind doing a couple of trips abroad. So maybe in 2020, I might arrange a couple of trips abroad. Airbnb or something like that. But yeah, just thinking in the future, anyone interested in that, let me know, and that'll give me the incentive whether to bother or not. I know that sounds negative, but there's no point in me putting thought into things like that if you're not interested. I'm also going to do a London trip as well. So we're going to do a trip down to London, similar sort of thing. We know a little bit of London, so we can do a bit of guide round there. Food. Yeah, let's get back to the Jewish quarter and get to somewhere where we know roughly where we are. Just making our way now to the Zapikanka quarter, as we like to know it, in the Compton tour guide. Those things, if you saw on the last vlog, maybe got a bit of water droplets on you. Sorry, I can see it on the screen just there. Right, guess what? Battery went dead. Are you done?
Can you
Sorted.
imagine that as a job?
What's that?
There's a lady sitting down there in a cubicle watching a telly, taking 2 zlotys so you can have a week. That's a job.
2 zlotys for a pee. Now this shop looks like it's not quite open, but we're going to have to bang on the window because we've walked all the way down here just because Denise wants one of these things in the window.
Oh yes, they have.
And I think they've got some,
yeah,
so
they have. 8 zlotys each.
Go for it. She wants one of these things here. Look at these.
They're the ones with the raspberries and chocolate.
Make them separate.
Yes, please. Not quite sure what they're called.
Don't know what they're called, but
they look gorgeous.
look at
Raspberry
that.
and chocolate.
Get it down, yeah. Oh. She's in. I'm going in for mine.
It's not a pastry.
That's nice, a little rummy lips.
You're getting out for this one.
Not much of a photography, is it? It's all about food. That's travel. Here come the locals. Right, well,
Tripod looks like Batman.
yeah. I think as the weather's got a bit damp and it's raining on and off, and we're running out of things to find that we can find in the damp weather that we haven't already seen before. So yeah, we're going to head back round There's a couple of little things Denise wants to have a look at and try and get a picture of, and I'm probably going to head back to the big square, see if I can get a couple of pictures looking through the arches and stuff like that. I know it's a bit wacky and a bit crazy and a bit on and off and sporadic, but that's all it is. It's all we're doing really, just wandering around and aimlessly looking for things to take photographs of, and that inspires us. I've just taken a couple more of the trams because I quite like the tram lines. We just crossed the tram lines. So yeah, that's as good as I can do here for now, I'm afraid. And it's an adventure, it's one of our adventures. City break, nice and cheap, and somewhere different. Right, we're back in the square. It's not quite evening yet, but the light is fading. The sky is very grey and miserable looking, and I thought I'd put on the old 10-stop filter and see if I can smooth out some of these people and blend them in. The reason I stopped in the middle of the street then was I like the reflection because it's been raining and wet. The cobbles are all reflecting the buildings in the background, so I'm hoping it'll make quite a nice image. And I've actually just put the tripod down, and this image looks really good in front of me. How ironic is that? I literally just dumped it down on the floor there, and this looks pretty good. So I'm just going to level it off a little bit, line it up, and take another one here. Slightly wider angle. I've got the wide angle lens on as well, and like I say, with the 10-stop on, it's working quite well. I've got to try and get the tree in, but I've also got a lovely leading line as well from the little wall right next to us. So yeah, we have got a little bit of photography today, if nothing else. Yeah, that's not a bad composition. I think I've got the tree in. I can't quite tell because on the back of the screen... Oh, let me turn the display off. Yes, the tree's in. That's quite good. Right, so 7.1, 26-second exposure. And that might smooth all the people out a little bit, or at least blend them in a bit. Try not to get so many people around. That's the only thing with this. And people, suppose that people make travel shots, don't they? They make travel photographs because that's what they're here for, but their horses are out in all weather and they're just wandering around now. They've all got things on, they've got these blocks on their feet, and we're trying to work out what these blocks are for, whether it's to stop them slipping on the cobbles or not, I don't know.
It's got to be, hasn't it, really?
But we assume it is. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to walk around now, see if I can get some few reflections in the cobbles on the street, and try and make something slightly different. We've got a moody sky as well, it's nice, and got some nice cloud definition as well, so let's try a few, something like this.
Everyone with the poppy seeds. Poppy seeds. Black one.
I've got a bit of a headache, so I've taken my hat off. I think it's probably... Oh, the lights come on, that's good. Yeah, I've got a bit of a headache, and Denise is flagging. To be honest, we're both flagging. We've done a lot of walking. We've just been down at the end here. I came down here to get a photograph. And we've got a load of artists down there. And I've taken a picture. The one I took last night is actually taken in one of the oldest streets in Krakow. And I've got the same photograph as what the artist has painted. That's quite nice. I've got on the front got a polarizer, and I've got something like about an 8-stop, I think it is, or equivalent. And I'm just trying to get these arches in. If you can see here, you've got the arches, you've got the cathedral or the church, whatever it is in there, in the first arch, and then you've got this nice lead-ins, I wouldn't say lead-in, but a lead-out, leading you away from the image. The fact that the lights have come on now, it's quite nice. I might do a slightly underexposed image. I'll hit the shutter again, I think. 2-second timer's on, as you'll hear. Yeah, just basically just walking around now, trying to use the reflections in the water and mooching around. I've also seen another image down there, really, really wide panoramic, and it was taken from over that end. Oh, try not to get me muff in me picture. Taken from over that end, and you can get everything in. So I'm going to have a go over there in a minute and see if I can get one in there. So we're getting towards the end of the day now, and the end of this video, I suppose. I can't keep blabbing on, otherwise you can get ever so bored. The sky's dead moody. It has been raining quite hard, so I set up, get a couple of images. If I don't talk you through them, because like I say, I've got a headache and I'm uncomfortable at the moment, but it's tiredness probably more than anything else. So if I don't talk you through them when I set them up, I'll at least show you some video footage, a bit of B-roll, and pop the images up afterwards, and I'll switch you back on later on to say goodbye. But for now, with my poorly little head, I'll catch you in a little while. Braved it. I'll put the camera back on just for another few minutes. I had to set up for this one shot. This is the wide panoramic, try and get the whole clock tower to the cathedral in, and I think I've just about got it in. The only thing that's letting us down, I can't go any wider, is there's a really bright light you can see there, and that's spoiling the image a little bit. So from where I am, that's about the best I get. I might just move around slightly to take one more, but we're about done, I think. We're both flagging a bit, aren't we? So I'll say thanks for watching anyway. Probably won't film anymore tonight because I've got a banging headache and Denise is quite tired now, so yeah, this is the last couple of images I'm going to take now, and we'll see you all in the UK maybe next time. So thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I know this is a bit different, but it's a bit of a Compton trip round Krakow, and we'll see you back in the UK. Ciao for now, bye.
Bye. Cold.
We'll just switch you back on just to tell you we're going to get something to eat before we head back, and we're having a machunka, and I've seen this on YouTube, and this is what we've gone for. I've gone for a bacon and Denise has gone for a classic, so this is going to be the end of the night. We'll have this, have something to eat. We're going back to the hotel and switching off, really, to be honest. It's been a long day and my legs are tired, Mrs. C's legs are tired, and I've still got a banging head. And it's not good. I've got some paracetamol and stuff at the hotel, so we're going to have our machunka, drop a lemonade, and job's a good one. So if I haven't mentioned it before, as I probably did when I've done a quick video, please like and subscribe, please tell your friends. I know this has been a bit of a strange one. It's not my usual sort of thing, as you know. I'm normally out in the countryside doing landscape, but we decided to have a weekend away in Krakow, so we documented it, and this is it. A bit weird, a bit different, and probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I think we ought to come over here with a group event, and I'll show you around and bring you to the machunka and zapikanka. Can't beat them, can you? Right, so for now, ciao.
No kidding. The size of that.
Look at that machunka. Look at that. Cheers.